What's happening, ladies and germs? This is the Packer Man, and I guess you could say this is kind of a follow-up video to my very impassioned rant from earlier tonight. I guess you could say this is the calm, cool, collected version of that rant. Yeah, there's some people that ask me why do I get so frustrated about certain things with this league, in particular when it comes to how people drive in it, and in particular during the clean racing and all that other stuff. Well, it's like I said before. I mean, the open banger shit, I do get a little frustrated sometimes, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. What pisses me off is that clean racing is clean racing. I realize that we're going to have events that are supposed to be clean, and then on the other side, you have the full contact kind of racing, the European style banger racing. What irritates me about it is there are some people that seem to kind of blur the line at times. And like I said in the previous video, Kyle, I mean, here's the thing. I'm not the only one. I mean, if you think that this is something new, I lost my shit over it. I mean, it really isn't anything new. I mean, look what happened back during the figure eight series. Kyle completely lost his shit over said driving. And what do you think happened? The driving improved. And we had a long stretch where there really wasn't as much shit driving as there had been before. But now it seems like in recent weeks we're starting to slowly slide back down into where it was before the figure eight series, and to me that's just not a good thing. Some of these people, and in particular it's some of the new people that are showing up that haven't raced with us as frequently. I mean, here's the thing. This is a league where a large majority of us that race every single week. I mean, we've raced against each other for a long ass time at this point. And we know each to almost to a fault. We know each other's tendencies. We know how, in a sense, we know how one another drives, and we know who we trust and don't trust around each other when we do race. But then you have some new people who come along and are not guys like, say, a Nathan Essie, who, I mean, when he first showed up, I didn't know who the hell he was, but it was pretty obvious right from the outset that he knew what the hell he was doing. And while I joke around saying, oh, I don't want him to show up, that's not true. I say that out of jest because, quite frankly, just to put it frankly, I have a lot of respect for the guy and his ability with this game, because he's a damn good driver. I mean, he's going up against the likes of guys who have been, proven winners and champions of this league in the past, like Warbird and even Stanby when he shows up, Greg, Hypnotic, Kyle. I mean, guys who have won pretty much the lion's share of the races in this series, and then he comes along and it's like I mean, it's like it's almost like second nature to him, almost, if that makes sense. And it doesn't seem to matter what kind of vehicle he drives. I mean, it's kind of like him and Warbird and Stanby. It doesn't really matter what car it is. He just knows how to drive it. And that's where the large majority of my respect lies, is when you have someone like that who can drive as fast as he does, but also he races as clean as humanly possible. He makes his passes clean. He races clean. And I'm pretty sure that's his preference. And that's part of the reason why it makes it so fun to race with him and others, and why to me it means more if you actually manage to beat a driver like that in a race. Because if you can beat a driver who's beast mode like that as often as he is, it means more. Especially if you can do it clean, which is why I advocate for clean racing as often as I do. I mean, hell, I mean, you think I get mad at some other people for, the way they drive, and, if there's shitty driving involved. I mean, I'm probably my own worst critic. I mean, you've heard me in the past. Whenever I fuck up or wreck somebody, I mean, I criticize myself to a fault, because if I'm going to hold other people to that kind of driving standard, I'm going to hold myself to that standard as well. Perhaps even more so than anybody else. And the reason why I get so frustrated about some of the crappy driving that I've seen in recent weeks is because Kyle, he has put a lot of effort into turning this group, and it's not just Wreckfest. I mean, it used to be just Wreckfest, but then it kind of evolved into this entire gaming community where it's not just Wreckfest. It's Forza, it's PGA Tour, GTA in some cases. I mean, there's a lot of other different stuff that people have done. I mean, there's an NR 2003 league, and I know about those for a long ass time. Been a part of one for a long time too. So it's kind of evolved from what was originally just a Wreckfest league into this burgeoning gaming community. And it's something that Kyle has put a lot of time and effort into creating. And this league has Wreckfest in particular, the Wreckfest League in particular, has kind of developed a bit of a reputation where you can come and you're going to be racing against what pretty much amounts to the best drivers in the entire game. I mean, a lot of the guys that you see racing in this league, they hold a lot of the track records that are in this game, or have held track records at one point. And truth be told, I'm kind of honored to be considered among that group, especially those that have held world records. I've been fortunate enough to set 4 different world records in this game. And to me, I think that is a cool accomplishment. And there have been a lot of people that have been a part of this league that have been able to do that accomplishment. I mean, hell, I remember a couple of SRU races back in 2020. It was either 2020 or early 2021. I mean, there were records being set during main events. Like when we go to like the A mains and shit and we're racing. I mean, you have guys like Stanby and Bird and Project Asylum. I mean, and Kicking Pigeons as well. They were setting new world records during the race that we were in. I mean, to me, that's just mind blowing. I mean, that just goes to show you the caliber of drivers that this league has, and the fact that this league has been basically built upon good clean racing in the clean events. Now, obviously, the banger racing is its own beast, but I'm talking about the clean side of things. Like, that's what it should be. And I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, there have been some new people coming into this league, and trust me, we welcome newcomers. I mean, if people are interested in wanting to join our league and want to race with us, they're interested in doing like clean shit and all that good stuff, then that's fine. But there's two things you need to realize. One, you're gonna be in a lobby with a lot of drivers that are fast as fuck. That's numero uno. But number two, and more importantly, and this is very important, you need to make sure you have all of your ducks in a row. And for the love of God, have some common sense out there, okay? Because you're racing with a group of people who have been racing in this league for a long ass time. I mean, this is the league's third year of existence. And all these drivers that are in this league that are just insanely talented at this game. I mean, we know who is going to be, for the most part, we know who's going to be contenders, I guess you could say. Those who maybe are not there yet, but the thing about racing with fast guys is that you will eventually start to get faster and faster yourself, because you'll learn some of the things that the fast guys do on certain tracks. Like, ooh, I'm gonna try that myself and see if that works. Or different setups for your cars, or the different types of cars that they use. I mean, you learn all this stuff by joining this league as well. And a lot of the new people just seem to take that for granted. And it was basically a similar case tonight, where we had a couple new guys. I'm looking back at it now though, but I think the incident with me and the one guy in the final, I mean, I'm fairly certain that it was not intentional on his part. And maybe I did get frustrated in the moment, but at the same time, I mean, when you're coming to a sharp hairpin turn, there's going to be some hard brakes applied. So the only thing I wish is that you would have been a little more attentive, but it is what it is. I mean, it's just a first offense. If there's nothing else that happens beyond that, then bygones be bygones. But the other guy, I mean, he's been an issue pretty much ever since he joined, and he was complaining a couple weeks ago about not being race clean in a public lobby, which it's a public lobby. I mean, dumb shit's gonna happen there regardless. I mean, there's no rules in a public lobby. But then he comes into our league and tries to make a mess of it by just being an ass out on the racetrack. And that's what I get frustrated about, is when people try to basically trash the reputation of this league, because they come in, they want to quote unquote make a name for themselves. They want to prove that they can run with the faster crowd, and they end up making fools out of themselves. And tonight was such an occasion. And truth be told, I had been seeing it for the past several weeks, and I felt like it is something that needed to be addressed. And I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. I know Beer, he's expressed his frustrations about it as well. I mean, he's been very vocal about it, and I'm right there with him. Because, I mean, if you want to come and race with us, that's all good. But for the love of God, have a modicum of common sense out there, please. I mean, it's not too much to ask. I mean, if you're going to race with us, prove to us that you can race with us without resorting to dirty tactics or using us as a brake pad or whatever else. I mean, if you can do that, it's all good. I get frustrated because I give a shit. Okay, because when I got this game, what was it, 2, 3 years ago now? You know, I always wanted to join a racing league, and what Kyle has created here is, I mean, it's probably the honestly the best run league I've seen as far as like racing leagues. There's been a lot of Wreckfest racing leagues, but this has been by far the best run one because, I mean, the events. I mean, the crazy number of events that we do in this league is just insanity. You know, different rules, different cars. I mean, it a lot of the events that we do feel fresh, it feel inventive, exciting to do. You know, and when a new series comes up, it's like, oh my god, what's this going to be about? You know what I mean? And that's what makes it fun. You know, because you know if it's like a brand new series we've never done, it's like, ooh, the intrigue. You know, for the guys that run this league every single week, it's, you know, that's what makes it exciting. As my kitty wants some attention. But, cat, get off. Why do you always like to sit on the keyboard? You always do that. This cat. Thank you. But okay, cat, that's enough. Quit. Just lay there. Quit. Get off the keyboard now. Good lord. But anyways, see, now I lost my train of thought. God damn it. But let me see if I can regain my train of thought here. Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to get on here and talk about. After spending some time thinking about it, I just like, you know what? Maybe I do get a little bit too frustrated at times, admittedly. But I get pissed off because I actually give a shit. You know, because I wouldn't invest my time, my personal time, for as long as I have every Tuesday and Thursday and sometimes Wednesday, sometimes Friday, sometimes Saturday. I wouldn't do a live stream on my channel or create a condensed series of this league if I didn't like it, if I didn't want to be a part of it. I do it because I care, because it's the best league I've ever been a part of, and I don't want to see it end. Now, Kyle's been talking about retiring it after July, but I mean, we don't know at this point, because we all know that the game won't last forever, although there have been rumors going around that they're in the process of creating Wreckfest 2. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but yeah, this is. I mean, I mean, in a strange way, it almost feels like my second home in a way. Because even though a lot of the guys that I interact with on the Xbox Live chat I've never actually met in real life, it doesn't matter. I mean, it feels like feels like we're what's the word for it? Feels like we're a posse. I don't know, a group of friends. I don't know. I don't know what the word for it is, but I wouldn't trade this league for anything else. I mean, I've seen other leagues come and go with this game, but let's be honest here, nothing compares to the one I'm in right now. Because if that wasn't the case, I wouldn't have it on my YouTube channel in the first place. Because, I want to make good quality content for my channel, and if I didn't think Spare Parts Wreckfest was worthy of that, it wouldn't be on my channel in the first place. And I wouldn't live stream it every single week without fail. It's something that I love. And yeah, maybe I do get frustrated at times, but it's because I give a shit about it. But I guess you could say this is an addendum to the previous video. Maybe I was a little bit too frustrated, but I mean, it is what it is at this point. Besides, when I get frustrated, maybe C-Dub is right in a way. Maybe I shouldn't be throwing my controller or slamming it on the table, because they are kind of expensive. So that's why instead of slamming it tonight, like I probably would have done in previous events, I decided to make a rant video and basically express my frustration and basically vent, I guess you could say. And I guess in a weird sort of way, venting and ranting in a video. Cat, would you please quit with the claws? Your claws are fucking sharper than any others I got. Stop that. No. Quit. No. Cat. Interrupting my train of thought again. But I guess in a weird sort of, like I said, in a weird sort of way, I vent and rant on these videos because I guess it's a weird sort of way for me to blow off steam. Like if I need a reason to vent my frustrations, or if I'm frustrated about something and it's something that I can talk about in a YouTube video, then I can do so. Maybe with a little bit of cursing and swearing and all that other shit that I do. But the benefit to that, though, is once it's done and over with, and once I have it all off my chest, I feel a lot better afterwards because, it's all out of my system. I've gotten all my frustrations out, and it's almost like a weight being lifted off my chest, if that makes any sense. I know a lot of us have done it in the past, and we will continue to do so, but I guess that's another one of the reasons why I do those kind of videos. I don't like to do them very often. I'd rather not do them if I don't have to. But sometimes, you gotta, if there's any kind of issues that arise, especially ones like we saw tonight, then it's gotta be addressed. And that's just the bottom line on that. But I'm done rambling. I gotta get to bed because I gotta get up in the morning and do another 9-hour day. I'm already horrendously tired from today. So, thank you for watching a rambling video game racer, I guess you could say. But we'll do it again tomorrow, and hopefully it won't suck as bad as it did today. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you whenever.